But Allie, can we expect the mid-year pricing with Ford?
I've seen some of it, and it's not crazy. Like Maverick, Mach-E, and Bronco Sport went up at least. Well, it depends on like trim level. Like it potentially could go up to $2,000 more.
Yeah.
But some of it's like $80 here, like $700 here. Like the most I think was the Mach-E, and I think it was $2,000.
Which I have to say now, and Tim, I know Tim's been covering this a little bit with all the news in DC. Like Mach-E has to be dead now. Lightning's going to be. I know Tim, you just dropped a video, if I remember right, on is this truck dead now? The Lightning.
Oh,
I haven't got to watch it yet.
Literally, we can't keep Mach-E's in stock.
Really, that's good news.
Because of the programs that like Ford has on them for like, because if I'm in a leasing state, so like everyone leases.
Mm-hmm.
But like I had one in transit for. There was hail damage on it, but it's fixed now. But it was in transit for like 3 months, and we had 8 deals backed up on that car.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Allie, I like you a lot, but you're in Michigan, and Michigan it's a very different animal. And
that's the thing. It's a leasing state. Like
yes. Here's the thing: if you pay full retail in Michigan, you are an idiot. There's something wrong with you.
I've done 2 vehicles there at full retail, Tim. Let's.
We're not from Michigan.
The guy at the gas station gets employee pricing. The guy at the gas station knows somebody. Like if you go in there like you don't know somebody, it's like you're an idiot. You gotta know somebody.
Okay, your Raptor you did. Your Mustang you did not.
That's true.
Oh, I don't remember what we did.
Right.
Wow.
No, I mean, yeah. No, I mean, everybody's on the X-Plane, right? I mean, the entire state of Michigan's an X-Plane. When I cross the Michigan-Indiana border, I see Lincolns never seen besides at the auto shows. I'm like, holy crap! They actually sell those. Oh my god! People actually drive these.
Tim, you're in a state full of there's more cows in your state than people.
Probably.
Yes.
But no, I mean, that's very true.
I won't disagree with that. Like 100%. It's a different world in Metro Detroit area.
Oh yeah. Michigan's. I always laugh when I go to Michigan because I'm always like, oh wow, this. Yeah, and it's always funny because you're like driving to Michigan, and you're like, there's a Subaru. What is wrong with you? Like,
hey, I did feel
like I couldn't park my dad's driveway. If you came in my dad's driveway, the Toyota, Subaru, Honda, whatever, you couldn't pull in the driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, my first time in Detroit was in 6, and I had a Honda Element that I just bought.
Oh,
and dude, you talk about the weirdest looks driving through Detroit in 7 or whenever we had it. Like people
you were the enemy.
Like, no, that's not a big 3 product. What are you doing here?
Well, and that's the thing. Like whenever you guys wanted me to like compare, like there's no comparison. Like I have nothing to say. Like we don't drive foreign cars here, and if we do, it's very rare. Like we have a Honda dealership right next to ours, and my mom's niece works there. Dead all the time.
Crickets.
Dead.
Yeah.
Like she texts me all the time. She's like, "How busy are you?" Like this was Thursday before we left, and I was in the middle of 4 deals, and I'm like, I just got 4 out, and she goes, I don't even have 4 out for like a week. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah,
crazy.
No. Michigan's bizarre. No, what I had pointed out was when the September 30th, the $7,500 tax credit goes away.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a big issue, Tim, because I've been wanting to do a live stream with you about this because I did a video that nobody watched because it was about EV, but brands like Slate and Canoe's already dead, but so a lot of these startup companies, dude, they're dead in the water now. Like because Slate's biggest thing was, hey, we're going to be a $20,000 pickup truck because of fine print. It says under their pricing due to tax credit, and Tello or whatever they're called, they're the same way.
They're
like,
dead. Yeah.
The
Lucid CEO came out and said straight up, he goes, it is going to be impossible now for EV startups to get placed in the marketplace.
Yeah,
because the money going to infrastructure is going away. Not only that, but the tax credit going for the consumers going away, but also the federal incentives for automakers to start up for EVs going away. Those like the Ford Oval City down there in Ohio. Was it Ohio, Tennessee border?
Kentucky and Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah. They got massive tax discounts to put those factories in, create jobs. That money's gone.
Well,
See
you
you later.
saw that
Bye-bye.
Ford...
Trump tried to get that money back, and the federal judge says, nope, sorry, you can have it back.
Yeah.
There's no way they're approving that funding in the future. That's gone.
Well, you saw that Ford was out of all the subsidized things last year, Ford got $7 billion from the government for subsidies on that stuff.
That's all gone.
Yeah. So I know Ford quickly in Kentucky, because that plant should be up and running or very, very close. They've now partnered with Nissan because they're like, we don't need all this capacity. You've got Tennessee now that should be nearly done. And it's going to be crickets there, man. And then, all these states also chipped in to help get these things in their states as well. And yeah, it's going to be a mess, man.
What happens? Remember Hyundai made the announcement they're going to put that plant in Georgia for the battery plant?
Yeah.
And Trump was like, hey, manufacturing coming in the United States. How's that? That's dead. Gone. It's later. Bye-bye. The thing is, if you Google this stuff at all, if you even Google this stuff at an iota at all, China did this. China killed the EV rebate, tax credit. Within 3 months, it collapsed so quickly. They were like, oh, shit. And they made it back immediately because communist country can do that, right? They're like, oh, we just create, whatever. But it collapsed so fast. They were so shocked how things quickly changed. They had to make the change so quickly that they had that the whole economy around that collapsed. And I understand that people are saying that, if you can't make it work now, it's been 10 years. I get all that argument. Oil and gas in this country has been subsidized for years. Mm-hmm. If you look at us versus Europe, we pay nickels on a dollar for our gas prices. Our gas at the pump should be actually more expensive if you look at the numbers. Right. But what I'm saying is the EV is not where it needs to be anywhere close, and it's going to destroy that economy. And you know what? Great, bad, whatever. I really don't care anymore. Like whatever you want to decide in Washington, go for it, because I think it's all just malarkey. But they did that. That decision made. Great, fine, whatever. Who cares? But I'm telling you right now, I look at this stuff. Look at that. If you look at my quarter two sales chart, you and I are talking about this because the Wrangler versus the Bronco information. Yes. But you look at the quarter two sales chart for the EV truck sales in the very bottom of that chart. It's not good. Lightning wasn't very good. And I was looking at this. I had the update of the Cybertruck. The Tesla Cybertruck was maybe $5,000, 5,000 units sold. Maybe 5,000.
So Cybertruck's unique, though. I'm going to say that's it because that's a completely. They didn't expect to sell 1 million of those things. I know they did.
No, they did. They did. Remember the reservation of that? They had like 1.2 million or whatever. That was the glory road, man. That was the future. That was the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you, buddy. Elon had that up, the best thing ever. It was the best truck. You fire a bullet through that son of a bitch, and go through the bullet. It's bulletproof.
I feel like we're the old couple in the booth.
I'm telling you, man. He pissed me off with that damn thing. But the Cybertruck did not sell as well as it should.
No, well, there's a lot of reasons to that. I know they've had some issues with quality on that thing. They've had some issues with.
Thank you. So I have grown my hair longer lately. I was doing the hair thing today. I didn't care about hat, but my hair looks on point. Do you think?
I know. I was surprised. I had your hat on all day.
I have a full assortment, by the way. I just hadn't pulled it out.
Yeah, I got to get you an ATN hat so we can pair off.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but like Cybertruck, that's a weird, unique. I don't like it either, but it doesn't make me as angry as it seems like a lot of people it does. But yes, no, that's an extraordinary thing. But the companies that like Tesla in general with the Model S and 3 and their bread and butter stuff, they were smart, man. They just said, hey, we're offering it. People bought them. Now you can think of Elon. This month we don't like Elon. Next month the same group will love Elon, depending on how he sways with the wind. But Tesla did
I thought he's an idiot for many, many years. So
he's a pretty
on record. Idiot. I think he's an idiot. I thought he's an idiot for many years. He's a very smart person, and smart people to me are very much idiots. So there you go.
Oh, 100%. But they did their own thing, and be damned. Like people bought. I need you to quit doing that.
I don't know what's happening.
Sorry, my TV's freaking out over here. My monitor.
By the way, Allie has just closed 4 Mach-E sales as we talked.
I know.
Well,
I'm getting to that. So
No.
Just stop. I'm trying to get it pulled up for you over here. I can't help that it's freaking out. It's Tim's website that's freaking out.
Yeah, it's Tim's website. But so we'll leave Tesla alone because it's its own thing. But now you got the big 3, Tim. You got GM was hard. You've got GM who went hard at EV. We're going to be an EV company 2030, be damned. You've got sort of, we'll say out of the 3, you've got Stellantis over there who seems to be the Nissan of the big 3. They can't shift fast enough. By the time market shifts, they're already behind.
No one wants.
They're hardcore, and now look at the Charger or whatever they call that thing, dude. They can't give that away, and that was even before the talk of the credits going away.
Did you see that they had to recall it because it wasn't loud enough?
No, but I did see where they wasn't actually stopping. It was the throttle was just doing its own thing.
No, so EVs have to make a certain noise for the blind population, and it wasn't loud enough
for the blind population.
Yes, my wife works with deaf and blind people, and so she's a special ed teacher, and there is there's a federal mandate that the EVs have to make noise because
that's why the power boost has to beep when you're backing up.
It does because blind people have to be able to hear things. It makes total sense when you think about it. It does make it's like okay,
it was just funny.
But the Dodge Charger was not loud enough.
Not beeping. It's not for legit. You don't know it's there.
Exactly, so, and so they had to recall it because it wasn't loud enough.
Well, I thought they were bragging about how many decibels. It was just as loud as the V8. No, that's a whole nother turd, man. But hey, I will say this about getting back to what like Ford is doing, like how many Mach-E sales that people are. They have the gas powered to they have two really EV vehicles. They have a truck and a car basically, and that's it. They're not trying to do the whole lineup, so they can toy still with those.
Well, wait. I got to say this, and Allie's gonna not like me to say this. They Ford really tried to get me like the E-Transit. They have a work van.
Oh my god, I hate the E-Transit.
Ford was like all of me trying to get this, and my friend Chad Kirchner, I'm throwing him out there on the bus because Chad was like all into it. He was like making love of this damn thing, and he wanted me to love this thing, and I'm like, okay. Final mile delivery, E-Transit, sure, for all 10 people in the world who are going to use this thing. Fine. Oh, great. Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, this thing is a dud. It's a dud. It's just a dud. And I was getting emails and I was getting phone calls about E-Transit. The sales report, last quarter sales report in E-Transit, it was like they sold like 10. It was like 10 versus the rest of the transits. Yes.
We tried to send one to auction. I said tried. It came back.
Yes.
Oh God.
Wow.
So what is the range on those things? Can't be 200 miles, maybe.
Like 200 miles.
Yeah. No.
So do you think though that transit was just to try to when everybody was trying to get Amazon to jump aboard theirs? So everybody developed it. GM has what is it? Bright Drop. And so do you think that
being
was
dropped like a bright turd?
Yeah. But do you think for Ford that was a quick look, here's our presentation. If we sell 1,000, we sell them. If not, who cares?
No, they tried. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I got press materials like crazy. I probably and
my manager's trying to give one away right now. So
yeah, it's not good. I feel a little validated these days because I was like thrown under the bus at many press events, and I was looked at like that dude. Like I was looking at the guy with the pitchforks in the back in the corner, like, or I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm like maybe cool.
Like I don't mind the Mach-E, I don't mind the Lightning. I hate the E-Transit. It's awful.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like it could maybe work. It'd be maybe okay. I didn't whatever, but. Like, and the Lightning, like for me, the Lightning, we drove it, we tried to use it, and it was like, I almost didn't make it home one night with the Lightning. I mean, Lightning is fine in small places and stuff. And remember Jill? So the Lightning first came out, and NACTOY was doing a thing that was North American Car Truck of the Year, people, journalists, whatever. And they were doing a thing, and Jill's a member of the jury, and it's a esteemed thing for journalists to be a part of the NACTOY. And Allie knows, being in Michigan, NACTOY is a big deal. And when the word comes out, it's a big deal. And automakers love this deal. And so it was a huge thing. And Jill's like, don't you love the Lightning? I'm like, well, it's just okay. It's fine, whatever. And so Jill made me go on camera with her. And we had a huge, almost throwdown argument. And Jill, if you know Jill gets very animated. And I don't hold back with Jill. I just was like, you know what? Fine, let's talk about this. And we had a whole thing about it. And I was not over the moon about it. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's what it is. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And I was not blown away by it. It's not a truck. It's an SUV with a bed. That's what it is. And she was like, whoa. And everybody in the world loved Lightning. Like all my friends loved Lightning. My friend Paul Eisenstein bought one. He was like, trying to convince me at press programs about it. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, Paul, whatever. And then, the sales came out. The sales weren't that strong. And then they cut production and things weren't going as well. And things were happening.
Initially, though, I know early adopters jumped in on it because
early adopters.
Pandemic.
All of a sudden, in Canada was like, wait, it doesn't go that far in the wintertime. And then was it some of the big channels? One of the big Hoonigan bought one. And they were like, oh, crap. We had to sell it right away because it didn't go well in the wintertime and the resale value sucked. And I mean, it was all of a sudden these stores coming out were like, this thing isn't as good as we thought it was going to be. All of a sudden the range isn't what it wasn't supposed to be. And I was like, okay, it's an electric vehicle. We've known this for years. Like, what's the surprise here? And yeah, it turned to this whole like kind of debacle thing. I still think the Lightning is fine. I think the Lightning is fine. I don't think it's amazing. I think
my
it's
electric
fine.
utility, that's what they run here, is mostly Lightnings.
Yeah. I think it's fine for in town for short distance runs, occasional towing. I think it's fine, but it's not to me a truck that's a multi-tool that you can use in a multi-situation. That you can get up tomorrow morning, and if you want to drive to California tomorrow morning, you can't get in that truck and just go to California tomorrow morning. You can't do it.
So Tim, speaking of, because this was not going to be an EV episode, but it's turning into that because I do have questions, and I believe I respect you in the industry and know you're pretty good at this. So with the credits and all this going away, obviously that's going to affect some people. I don't think for 90% of America they could care less about it, and I don't mean that rudely. I just mean it's not going to affect their life one way or the other. They're not buying EVs, but now we have our partner up north who we're fighting tariffs with, but they've set hard lines of we're going EV no matter what. And if they're not being built here, basically, they're up shit's creek, right? Like Canada is really pinned themselves to this, I don't know if you want to call it progressive, woke, or whatever you want to call it, of like, we're hardcore, we're doing, we want to be the progressive country. Cool. But now if America's not building your EVs, where are you going to get your cars from?
I think Canada's been smart personally. Growing up in the Flint area and growing up in the Detroit area and Michigan and stuff, like I love Canada. Canada's awesome. Like I've been to Canada and Windsor. I've been up different places in Canada. I've been up in different places, Toronto places, and Canada's awesome. And Canada's its own market. And honestly, I think Canada's got tons of natural resources. Canada's got tons of manufacturing. Canada doesn't really need us. They got oil. They got stuff up there. Like
I would argue with that. I think they do for cars.
They got manufacturing up there.
Where? That's not American controlled.
They have multiple plants up there. I think they just kick his ass out.
What
I think Canada is like the Wild West. Like Canada's like Wyoming of North America.
Tim's gotten sponsored by Canada. We just didn't know.
I just love Canada. I mean, Canada's got plenty of manufacturing up there. They have plenty of plants. I mean, they build a lot of.
But seriously, Tim, here's my question though, and I feel like you're dodging.
And Canada doesn't need EVs. You know what? You know what sucks in Canada? EVs. Because you go to the Northwest Territories, last thing you want is an EV. But you're Saskatchewan, you don't want an EV.
You're making my point though, and that's my point is besides the big three here who build 90% of Canada's cars, is America does. I know they have some GM plants and stuff, but it's not like they depend strictly on those. Those aren't Canadian only plants building cars.
I think we only have one.
But with the American government getting rid of the credits here, that's going to affect how the big three affect their sales. They're not going to put a lot of money into EV right now because why? We're not getting the credits we once did. The buyers aren't there just yet. But Canada's hardlined on we're doing this hell or high water. That's my point is
no, not really. I mean, Trudeau's out of office. Trudeau was the big pusher for that. I mean, Trudeau's
the current guy is too. He said he wasn't changing his policies. I mean, I hope they do.
I don't think. I mean, Canada is like Canada. I don't think they're going full EV as much as you think they're going to go. I mean, they do need to change their policies a little bit. I mean, they're very much a throwback in the woods, Wyoming kind of country where they live off natural resources. I mean, I live like my Sarah Palin joke, right? I can see Wyoming from my house, right? I can see it right there, right? And Wyoming, I always talk to my cousins about it all the time, like. Wyoming's a natural resource state. Like they live off coal all the time. And you just know that coal is a finite resource. At some point, you're gonna run out of it. At some point, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen, right? So you do need to diversify at some point, and Wyoming's done a very poor job of that. So at some point, Wyoming's going to be in trouble. It's just there's no argument there. You talk to the old people of Wyoming, they're like, "Oh, it's fine, it's forever coal for 50 years." You talk to my younger cousins, they're like, "Yeah, we're screwed," because I mean they get it. It's a finite resource.
Yeah.
I think Canada's the same way, but I don't think Canada can go full EV. I think the full EV stuff is kind of ridiculous. I think if you do a I am on Canadian.
Conspiracies are coming.
I very much am pissed off about tariffs about whiskey. I did try the American whiskey. I don't like it. So I'm very much Canadian whiskey guy. But I do think that
it's okay, little guy. You didn't hear that. You did not hear that.
I do think I'm a strong proponent of improved fuel economy in full size trucks. I'm a strong proponent of diesel. I love the Silverado diesel. Hybrid.
You're big on that 3-liter, right?
I dig the 3-liter a lot. I think hybrids. I think GM's. I don't like GM's plug-in hybrid strategy. I like the power boost from Ford. I like the power boost capability as far as
I actually just
power on board.
drove one for 4 days and I really liked it.
The power on board is just a cool feature.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like I said to somebody the other day, if you look at trucks in the past 10 years, fuel economy's improved. And they're like, and they argue with me all the time, like, "Oh no, my buddy's whatever." Bullshit. Look up fuel economy last 10 years. Fuel economy has improved in the last 10 years in trucks.
So I do like 50 miles round trip a day.
Yeah.
And driving a power boost for 2 of those days, I was on like 660 miles till empty for 2 days.
Yeah.
Like that thing kept kicking into electric mode, no problem. Drove on the expressway, drove on city. Like It was great.
If you feather that gas pedal just right, you can kick that electrical motor on just right, and you can play that game, right? You play the game.
I turned it into a game as soon as
you play the game, right? Yeah. So I'm just like, just play the. I don't think we need to go full like EV to get.
No, I think if we did more of the power boost like Ford has in more of the lineups, I think people would be way happier.
I tell you what, I took that. People gave me crap lately about not being harder on automakers, and I don't really understand that. I have a video dropping tomorrow about that, by the way.
Well, because you're not negative every video, like the clickbait BS. That's why. Yeah.
So I did a video tomorrow about 5 things I don't like about automakers lately. But I did a video about that. But my bitch to the Ford Expedition team was, why the hell did they do a power boost version of Expedition? And
everyone's asking.
Holy crap! Being that program manager for them, we're sitting at the ball game, and
who's the program manager on Expedition?
I don't know who the guy was. I was drinking.
It's not Brad, is it?
I don't know. I was having a drink, but I looked at him. I said, "Why the hell did you do a power boost?" He goes, "Well, it's coming in the future." I said, "You guys have all these pictures, all these fantastic pictures, about we're gonna go out and do tailgating." Great tailgating. We're gonna be out in the campsite and fix dinner with this 2-tiered like eating system, whatever. I'm like, you need power to do that, and you have this great system you built called Power Boost. It has lots of power to do that.
To boost that.
How did you spend billions on this Power Boost system and you didn't include it in your big SUV, dumbass? Yeah, I was not. I gave him. And I'm sitting next to my favorite PR rep, Dan, and I was sitting next to him, and he was like, yep, because I gave that guy a mouthful. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I said, and so Jill and I did a video on the Expedition, the off-road version, the Tremor, and we had a whole segment. And I said, I don't understand, I literally almost said, I don't understand what the hell Ford was thinking. This is absolutely ridiculous. Why, if you spend all the money on this damn Power Boost system, why didn't include it? But no. They spent $1 billion to do this fancy tailgate, 2-fold tailgate in the factory. Shows us 2-fold tailgate. Who the hell cares about this clamshell tailgate? Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, they spent all this money. They showed us all this off in this factory, and you forgot the key component you already invested $1 billion into. That you just slide it in. Power Boost. I'm sorry, Power Boost is all it is that inverter under the bed hooked with hybrid cables. It's not rocket science.
But it is.
Oh, I know.
But it is, but they've already figured it out.
I got to be honest, though. I'm tired of, and I'm the off-road guy. I'm tired of every manufacturer taking a goofy CUV and thinking they have to have an off-road trim of this thing. Like, I don't know what this is doing for the company. The Expedition, the Explorer, all this stuff with trimmer, it's a waste of time. And I think you're going to see in a couple of years, you don't hear about this crap anymore, because when you think of an SUV, you think of your family stuff. I don't think of going to camping in an Explorer. I just don't.
I got to find my keyboard here. I'm going to do I got a good comment. Hold on. I'm going to go hashtag buzzkill Dave. All right,
no, but it's just like what you said. Yeah, I think a power boost would be better served in that vehicle, worrying about something like you just said, than it is.
But I
need to put off-road tires on this thing and call it a trimmer.
I don't care about it. I mean, even if you don't do the trimmer, even if you do the XL or XLT or something like that, like I think to myself, like, get rid of the damn part EcoBoost in the trimmer or EcoBoost and Expedition.
Yeah,
you should offer. And here's the thing, I don't understand with the Expedition. Offer the 5-liter V8.
You might see that now. Now
we can barely get a 5.0 and an F-150 anymore.
Right.
Like, there's been so many order constraints on that thing since like day one.
It's ridiculous. I know that Ford has cafe issues. They have meeting cafe numbers, which could be a difference with the new law. No cafe fines, fine, whatever the politicians decide to do. But I just think that, like, you know why the Tahoe wins? You know why the Yukon wins? The Escalade wins? It's customer freedom of choice. You can get in a 6.2, a 5.3, a 3-liter diesel. You can get different engine choices. Customers, at the end of the day, want engine choices. And Ford's like, here's an EcoBoost. That's your own choice.
Well, but I think
there is still so much fear about turbos out there.
But they're so set. Ford is so set with this. We're going to put a 2.3 in everything, and it's their base engine for hybrids now. I think with the truck, I think you eventually, like Ranger, you see it in that. I think Bronco, in a year or so, that's the only engine option you get. You get a 2.3 or you get the 2.3 hybrid, and then they save Raptor if you want the bigger engine. That's it. Like, they have this weird hard on for the 2.3. That's our only thing we can do. I don't know if it's the emission numbers on it. I mean, obviously the 4-cylinder, but they are very steadfast with that. But you saw, Tim, you did a story on it, 10,000 pre-sales on Dodge Ram over there real quick when they were like, hey, we're bringing look, we made a mistake. We admit it. We're bringing
so the V8, the Hemi is funny. And Tim Kaniskis saw it. You know, he told us at the press conference, he goes, we're going to sell 10. He's like, we're going to sell 10, 12,000 immediately off the bat. Right.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's all dealers.
Oh, sure.
Dealers are going to order these like crazy, put them in a lot, thinking people are going to want the Hemi back. Right. It's going to be that first initial batch. Right. And we're going to see that go in initial batch. And then you're going to wait about 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It's going to be the next year. Next year is going to tell you how much consumers want the Hemi. Because if you look at all the metrics, the Hurricane outperforms Hemi in all the metrics: performance, fuel economy, towing performance, offline speed, all the metrics, highway passing, all the metrics. But if you're counting cylinders and you want a better exhaust note, the Hemi wins.
Yeah, because the good old boy who buys a daily truck, they want, whether, you know, the smart answer is yes, the straight 6 is a way better platform for that truck anymore. But I get goosebumps when I used to start my Mustang. I didn't, if it was the 4-cylinder version, I'm not like going out there just with a grin on my face every time. People want to enjoy their purchase.
We still grin at every Mustang we hear go by.
That's right. And when you're forced into something, much like what we were trying to be forced in with EV, when you're being forced into some category that, for one, the government should have some oversight, but they shouldn't have the total say. Like the past 6 years, I don't know what's been going on where they just decided, hey, we're the manufacturers now. You're going to do as we say. But people want, like you said, they want freedom of choice. Hey, man, I feel good about my EV purchase. My neighbor has one. They got a Tesla next door to me. They feel good about it, and I feel good about my purchase. I don't.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
should have choice.
And that's the thing. We need freedom of choice. I'm totally a fan of that. I'm always a fan of people's freedom of choice.
Come from the guy with the RHO in his driveway, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I blow away Hemis all day long. Eat them for lunch. On my face. It's hard to hear the exhaust note when you're doing 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds.
Sure.
You know why? I can't hear it. I'm going too damn fast.
Yeah.
The speed of Tim.
You pass by it. You just pass the speed of sound.
I can't hear it. But the thing is, I get it. I totally get it. The TRX sounded awesome. The seat rumbled when you drove by. But I don't miss the stopping gas station. Yeah. The RHO gets much better fuel economy than the TRX got.
It is funny to see our buddy TRD John in one and having the time, other than a couple service engine soon like he's had. But
he's been calling me. Him and I talk on a daily basis.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I love it so much better than Tundra. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's crazy to see these Toyota boys going, wow, this is actually a better truck. I'm like,
this is out here? What?
Yeah. You should try a Raptor then.
Yeah.
Well, I got my wife's Ford Ranger the other day, and I'm so mad at that damn truck.
Why? What's wrong with the Ranger?
It makes noises.
Oh.
I got the poppy noise and A-pillar.
Oh.
I swear to God, Alloy, every time I get a Ford, there's a poppy noise and A-pillar. Every time.
Why are you breaking it?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't even drive it. Why drives it? There's a poppy noise and A-pillar. Somebody said it was because the A-pillar was rubbing against the dash. I looked the other day. There's a clear line between the A-pillar and the dash. I'm like, bullshit. Not happening.
Yeah, no.
Yep. Nope. A-pillar. I had a Ford Expedition. My brother and I took deer hunting. That thing popped so badly. We had to, we literally were driving crazy. I had a Ford Ranger. The Ford Ranger right now pops A-pillar. My Ford Power Boost, A-pillar, both sides, popping noises.
Now I'm gonna have to go on a few test drives, see if I hear something.
Have you
know what's funny was
about your issues, Tim?
The Ford Expedition, drive right at the plant in Louisville. They had a course outside. They took every Ford Expedition out on a rattle, shake, and roll course to listen for a popping noise in A-pillar. And I was like, ha ha! Not just me.
I was just there to prove everyone wrong.
I'm telling you, I got popping noise. I don't know. I'm
very disappointed you were in the home of bourbon and didn't go see any of it.
I was
disappointed. He likes Canadian whiskey. He
Ford,
doesn't like.
No, but I'm disappointed. Ford had a drive program there, which we didn't get the invite on that one. But I'm disappointed that they didn't include bourbon somehow into that.
No, we did. We did. Castle and something or other.
Oh, Castle and Key.
Yeah, we did Castle and Key.
Cool, but the alcohol's terrible.
It was
mixed into a drink. It's good.
Hey, the vodka. You open the vodka up and it takes you right back to
flashback to 2020.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is
what the Mexican restaurant had as their hand sanitizer in the restaurant. Like it was bad.
Yeah. Wow, you guys enjoyed COVID.
Well, so it's funny because even Sydney said, oh my gosh, that reminds me of 2020. And obviously she's almost 15, so it's not happening for her.
Cool Jack building, Evans, very cool building.
Jack Evans says this 2024 Ranger does not make any popping noises. I guarantee you, if I got in your Ford Ranger, it would. I'm telling you, I have the market death on me. I'm telling you, every time I get a Ford, after a certain mileage number, after a few thousand miles, it makes noises.
Is that altitude change that makes
altitude change makes a popping noises. I've been on forums and people say the same thing to me. They say their Ford makes popping noises. I'm telling you.
The only issue, I just started having issues with my Bronco with the stay bar disconnect, but that's about it.
Popping. It pops. I'm telling you, it pops.
It's doing something because it keeps telling me not to drive over 20 miles an hour. Well.
Maybe it knows your driving history.
Oh, it says Allie's driving. Don't go over 20 miles an hour.
What are you doing there, Allie?
A lot.
Hey Allie, how's your pup? How's your pup?
She's good.
How's the pup update? Yeah, I was going to ask how the pup update was going.
She's living her best life.
Good.
Well, Tim, so you've I haven't seen you really on many trips going on, man. What's up?
Thank God.
You've been doing TikToks and stuff from your desk.
Yeah, you just got done in Michigan.
I know, 16 days.
I literally missed you by a week.
I know, you were this way, I was that way. Yeah. So here's my new plan. I had a camper. We went for 16 days because I had a Ram event, and then my wife was out at a deaf blind camp, and she flew in the Monday after. We did a trip to Wisconsin around the back of the boat. Here's my new plan, Dave and Allie. I have it figured out. I'm going to stop doing press trips. Why'd you go blurry?
I don't know.
It's bad too.
Yeah, you went really bad. You went out of focus. I don't know. Maybe an improvement. I'm not really
sure. Just know I didn't say it.
I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word.
Okay.
Well, we might have to reset this. 1 second. Keep talking. Ignore me.
There you go. You're good. There you go. You're good. Yeah, you're good. So here's my plan, Dave. I've been thinking about this quite a bit. So I have to go, I should go to SEMA.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you and I've talked, and I loathe Las Vegas.
But you do like me, in and out, like just.
No, I loathe Las. Like I really.
I'm not a Vegas guy either.
Really. So here's my plan. I'm gonna take my camper.
Ooh.
I'm gonna camp north of town.
In Vegas.
I'm gonna drive in, do SEMA for a couple hours, go north to my camper, go play golf at Paiute Golf Course, which is amazing. Hang out, have a steak, have some whiskey. Next day, go do SEMA for a couple hours, go back, golf, steak, whiskey, haha, and then drive back home.
Something now.
I'm telling you. And then Texas Truck Rodeo, don't fly.
Well, I can see for that one.
Drive down. I camp. Say that really shitty hotel we stay at all the time, right? I camp there.
Be there again.
I'm telling you, I camp.
I'm trying to do somewhere else.
And I can camp and not have to get a press car from the airport, doing that BS, and I can drive back home. I think it would cost me the same amount of time. Not time. It would cost me the same amount of money it would take to fly and hotel, and have my camper with me.
And you're driving through the shittiest part of America to get there.
So what? I have time.
Sorry, Oklahoma, Kansas. I love your state, but I hate the road.
No. I can stop in Dodge, Kansas, and have Taco Bell or McDonald's or something. It'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I'm telling you, I could do this, right? I could do it. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm not doing Tent City. No.
Vegas.
No. And it's not. And deal me in. It's not the alcohol. She's not blurring my end. No. I'm not. It's not much alcohol. So I'm telling you, that's my new plan. My new plan is no flying, no fancy 16-star hotels. I just get a gas card from Automaker. Say, just give me the gas card.
Yeah.
I would drive out. I camp. I do the event. And I take my sweet ass time. And
you sound like some old journalist we would have met at some press event. Me and you, that would be like, yeah, back in my day, we just used to do this, and
yeah,
I'm living out of my camper now.
I'm turning into John Madden I'm telling you, I'm taking my bus tour of the country.
If you can get Outback to sponsor you, it'd be great.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be.
No, I'm totally done with these press events. I'm totally done with this rigmarole and come have whatever.
Truck plus SUV talks.
Plus camper.
Plus camper. You better buy that URL.
Dude, I'm doing like a 40 foot by 20 foot camp sticker on my back of my camper.
Okay.
IRS can kiss my ass.
You'll print it yourself. We've noticed.
No, I'm gonna write the whole damn thing off. IRS kiss my ass.
There you go.
Well, there's nobody there at the IRS anymore. I just write the whole thing off.
Everyone got fired, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So that's my plan. I'm gonna totally do that. I'm gonna skip all these people online going, you got this free press trip, you got your bra out, all this stuff.
Tim.
Just
to get the week going.
I think people think these press trips that we go on are so glorious, and sometimes there's fun parts to them, but the that's a small percentage of the trips. Like
it's like an hour
off of these things, man.
Oh, it's an hour. The rest of the time is just murderous work. No,
my last Ford trip I got was the best part of it was I got some really expensive bourbon at a dinner, and that was the best part of the trip. The weather was awful.
Hey, we had a good time though. Don't downplay the trip.
Me and you make the trips fun, but my kids are older now. Wife's at work all week long. I got the time. I'm gonna get the camper Wi-Fi. And I'm telling you what I'm gonna get.
Starlink? You gonna get Starlink?
Oh, screw that guy. I'm gonna get better camper Wi-Fi. I'm gonna get the whiskey on board, the steaks. I got the grill. I'm gonna get the RV bidet. Fantastic. I'm gonna take my golf clubs, my bike. I'm gonna ride my bike. I'm gonna lose my belly. It'll be fantastic. I take all my time. Work a couple hours. I'm gonna take my time. And then here's the best part. When I have to pee, whatever, I just pull over. I have the bathroom with me.
Come on, dude. Anybody I know that owns an RV never actually uses the toilet because they don't want to clean the damn things.
It's simple. Lazy asses.
You need to have a shower right there. With my parents, because for years, literally, as long as we have had a camper that had a bathroom in it, my dad would be like, "Well, don't use it if you don't have to, and don't use toilet paper. It's too hard to clean." And you're like,
Lazy ass.
What's the point of having a bathroom?
No, I'm gonna put a TV in there. I got my little living room set up. I'm gonna upgrade the chairs to be like the power recliners with like lumbar and heat built into them. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna be
like deal me in for a 2024. Says one cross country towing a camper. He'll be back on a plane.
Dude, no.
Hey,
that RHO does 75 miles an hour with the camper and doesn't even care. 2,000 RPMs. Doesn't give a care.
Yeah, but you won't own that in 6 months.
I actually don't know. I'm kind of confused what to do.
Oh.
Well, no. So here's the deal. I bought the Ranger in 24. I bought the RHO in 25. I don't have to make a decision until 26.
Which we haven't seen the Ranger on the channel much, man.
I know we need to. I have to get some tires on it. My wife's got to do a 6-month update. I have to do a 6-month update on the RHO. I've been late on that. But anyways, so I need to do the Ranger update, RHO update. But no, I have to buy something in 26. But I could just buy the replacement for the Ranger in 26 and keep the RHO in 2027.
Yeah, there's sponsorship opportunity.
No, I'm not gonna. No. That guy is like the loony bin, and anything he says is like political now. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that guy. No politics.
That's right. And you'll put that on your camper, right? No politics.
No politics.
Just trucks.
No.
And SUVs, maybe.
No, I have to report on somebody said to me the other day, like, you did I did a Trump tax bill thing because it's a big news, right? His big, beautiful bill. Great. Fine. Whatever. And I did the top 3 things that's coming out of that for truck owners because it's you need to know this stuff, right? You need to know buying a truck, what's going to happen. So he's like, well, this tax bill for America, I unsubscribed from TFL and no Patreon because of politics, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you think about this stuff. The bill passed. He put his name on it. He talked about it, whatever. The 3 things you need to know. That's what happened. Done. What do you want to know? And I would tell you this. I've done a lot of TikToks lately because I made like $2,000 in Chinese money last month.
I know. I saw that.
And TikTok people have no common sense.
Yes.
Holy crap.
This sounds
awful. It's a 3-second mentality.
I hate to say, but any video I've ever seen to come across there, it seems about the IQ of about 70 somewhere in there. Some a lot of the
it is like I'm shocked at the people's comments. I'm like, are you serious? So somebody said to me, he said, I want to go back to manual windows, roll-up windows, because they're so reliable. I'm going to go out tomorrow with my 62 C10. It's my 3rd time in 9 months of fixing my reliable roll-up windows.
Well, you started there at 1962, Tim.
You know how unreliable roll-up windows are.
Oh,
Did you not grow up in the 80s?
I had a 95 Firebird with roll-up windows. I do understand.
Yes. Like, why do we think this? Why do we have like these gigantic rose-colored lenses? Like, the past was so beautiful and so amazing and so awesome.
That's manual transmissions. I mean, I love a good sports car and a manual transmission, but at no point do I want a manual transmission
or sit in traffic in a manual transmission.
So, have you ever been to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee? The redneck.
I feel like
paradise
I know his name.
Here. Anyways, towards Knoxville, Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
It's near Gatlinburg.
Yeah. I feel like I know that name. Yeah.
So it's red light after red light, and in '95, I just bought me a brand new Firebird with the little 3.6 in it. Had the manual transmission. I wanted manual. I wanted to be cool. And I got stuck in all this vacation traffic. And by the time I got to my chalet, my leg was about 4 times the size of the other leg.
Yes.
From shit. I'm like, and don't get me wrong, because I took shit on our Mustang. Why didn't you're not a real driver then, are you? And you're like, what? No.
The paddle shifting on the Mustang is so much better than any.
Oh, it's so incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine a Lamborghini going back to manuals? Like, we found out it's better. No, it's all dual clutch as fast as it can go, man.
No. Yeah.
No, those people that, like you said, they look with rose-colored glasses back the way they used to be, and it's like, no, I don't want to go back.
No, I don't want to go back. Like, people are like, isn't it great you work on your 62 C10? I'm like, yeah, because I have to work on it.
Yeah, I had a 1964 Volkswagen, and guess what? It never ran right. And no matter if I put a new carburetor or whatever on it, it never ran right, and I didn't have time for that.
So, Allie, how you doing over there?
That's right. It's 2 old men over here. We'll change the name of this.
Well, I actually just looked up the registration for this thing.
So, Tim, Allie's got a 60th anniversary Bronco bash she's putting on.
Mm-hmm. Up at
Silver Lake.
San
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out this. Hold on, I'm trying to figure the sign behind her. this Bronco stable. I've been caught up with alley stuff here.
Oh, that's
besides the obnoxiously bright window behind your is it? I mean, I got Allie. It's 8:52 in Michigan. You tell the sun to go down. I mean, where the hell?
Right.
Go on.
You'll get there.
What's the Bronco stable?
It's a bunch of stickers.
Stickers.
All the ones she's met or traded with.
So Tim, the Bronco guys, instead of Jeep guys have ducks.
Right.
The Bronco guys seem to like to trade stickers.
They're not guys.
Bronco people like to trade stickers.
Okay, so Bronco people like to trade stickers because they're okay
of their vehicle. Generally.
Okay. So registration of the 19. You said, "Come on, Allie. This point we talk."
No, so we're having a birthday bash for Bronco with Ford, and they have a surprise reveal there. And I just looked up the registration, and there's 450
people.
Is that people?
Broncos, not people. So now you have to times that by 2 to 4 for people.
Almost 1,000 people.
Okay.
Allie, is there a website for that?
No.
Michigan Bronco.
Yeah, MichiganBroncos.club.
So, and you're going.
Just a lot more people than we were anticipating. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. As the dumpster blows up in the background, right?
Hey, my first off-road event I ever put on, Allie, I got 53 to show up, and I was expecting 16. And I remember the parking lot everybody was meeting up at, and I just looked like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
It was at Best Buy, and they just kept coming.
Yeah, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? It was Nissan Xterra.
And
so
that's the thing. I can already tell you, I know there's a ton of classics not registered. So.
Oh yeah, guys like me never register. We just show up.
Yeah.
Which is what I usually do.
True story.
I'm trying to get there, Allie. Honest to God, I'm really trying to.
I
think you filled out the form though.
Did I?
I thought you did.
Huh?
Did he not?
I don't know.
What?
Did he fill out the form?
No.
I'm one of 400. I'm one of 400.
Wasn't it a smart sheet?
Hold on.
Anyways, Tim. So 60th anniversary of Bronco. Allie can't talk about it because she's under embargo, but
I'm under an
or may have some participation.
There's something cool coming.
I mean, they did it for Mustang. They're gonna do something for Bronco. So.
Yeah. Well, I will be at Woodward though, for definitely 100%. And somebody was asking about that earlier.
I don't know if I'll be at Woodward yet.
What? Tim went 2 years ago, was it? You drove your 62?
Yep.
Did it overheat?
This event is gonna kill me.
No, it didn't overheat.
Nice.
No, I do know that the Bronco Corral is moved. I need to talk to Laura. I don't have all the info on that.
I thought it's where the Mustang Alley was. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to figure out like if we're
but it's gonna be fun. There's I'm doing a question panel with some Bronco designers.
Cool.
So that'll be cool.
That's it, Woodward?
No, at Silver Lake.
Oh, at Silver Lake. Nice.
Well, Tim got to jump the Raptor R there, or regular Raptor at the dunes. I remember
the sand dunes. Raptor.
Yeah.
R. So I have to tell you, I went to the local truck show here in town.
A Cars and Coffee, as it were.
What's that?
Was it a Cars and Coffee?
Nebraska version.
No. Yeah, maybe.
They had
right?
like corn balers and stuff.
Yeah. it's all the high school truck bros that had their diesels with lifts and tires. Yeah. And I'd create the stick real fast, which gave me crap about. That's okay. I can handle it. I'm a dude.
You're fine.
It was fine. So I created the sticker and I put it on there. And I went over there and I got like this. Oh my God, it's you. No, whatever. Can't deal. But I was sitting there talking to the guy who owns a local car dealership in town, like used car dealership, small thing. And introduced me to his guy who created this event, this young teenager. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, the Dodge, the RHO Dodge." I'm like, "Yes, I have the Dodge, whatever, these young kids."
How has it been like 12 years and people still can't?
15. But
I do mess it up from time to time as well.
It's fine. It's okay. So he goes, "Have you jumped it?" And I said, "Yes, I had jumped it." And he, "Oh, you jumped it?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't jump mine. I jumped the Rams one in Michigan." "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "Well, they invited me out. They said, jump it." And he goes, "Well, how's it compared to TRX?" And I said, "Well, it jumps faster and jumps farther." He goes, "Yeah. You jumped TRX?" I'm like, "Yeah, I jumped that in the Raptor and the Raptor R." "You did that?" I'm like, "Yes, I've jumped them all." Yes. And then it was like, "Well, you need to come over to our shop. Your stories are better than our stories are." I'm like, "Okay, yes, I will come to your shop and tell you stories." But yes, so yes, I have jumped all these different trucks, and I will tell you.
Can you say you stalled out a Raptor R in the dunes in Ever got stuck like I did?
No, that's a one and done for you. You did.
Ford will never invite me back.
You did a couple.
That the cat box I used.
You know,
did
I haven't
public
even gotten stuck out there.
Hey, I redeemed us because I jumped.
Well, you hadn't been in sand like that. I've been in sand like that quite a bit. So anyways, yes, it's one of those things like I have jumped these trucks and people just lose their minds about it. I'm like, well, yes, I've jumped these trucks. I've been in Brago Springs. I've been in different things. I've been all sorts of things. I've done different things with these trucks. You do experience things that consumers don't experience, and you know these trucks can take it. I always laugh because people were like, well, you know that truck can't take it. I'm like, pretty sure it can. Pretty sure launch mode actually does work because I know I've tried it.
So it's funny. I remind Dave every time after we've already passed the railroad tracks that he could have jumped them. But no,
safety guy here. We don't jump.
Yeah, you are not
tracks.
the safety person. Let's
safety
be
guy,
very
Dave.
clear. When you almost ran in the back of a Jeep the other night, no.
That Jeep had it coming.
That was not safety, Dave.
Oh my!
I have a Raptor, man. I'm going to use the Raptor. It has special brakes.
Both Sydney and I were like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die!"
They're magic brakes, Tim, and they stopped us.
No, they didn't. You got over just in time not to ram in the back.
I told a story on TikTok in a video, and I said I was driving my new Tundra home, and I was driving through Dallas, and it was late at night. Well, differently. It wasn't late at night. It was like 6 o'clock at night, and I've been driving for like 8-9 hours, and I had to eat, and I was starving. And I was like, I got to eat, and I'm looking around, and you're driving, look around Dallas, and I'm by myself. You're trying to find anything to eat because you're starving, and on the highway. And I came around this corner, and I didn't notice RBO stopped in front of me. And the truck hit emergency braking.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency braking kicked on, the lights turned on. It saved my butt, saved my new truck. And I said, luckily my truck had it, and the safety feature. And this guy's like, well, trucks shouldn't be more expensive because dumbasses like you weren't paying attention. And you're causing trucks to be more expensive. And I'm like,
I'm the problem.
Yes. Thank you for calling out my stupidity.
Right.
And I'm the reason why trucks have grown 30% since COVID. Yes, I'm the problem.
Well,
have you never made a mistake in your life? Like, have you never? Yeah, I mean, we drive. Like, I drive. I've driven. I was thinking about the other day. I've driven in probably 30 some states. I haven't done all the states, and I've driven in multiple countries. Like, mistakes happen.
Well, and it comes back around to rose-colored glasses, right? Because people think everything that they've ever done, they don't think about the errors they've made over the time. Like, they're not human. Yeah. And, Tim, the point you made about driving through Dallas is that safety feature could have potentially saved. We actually had a dad and son, adult children were actually coming down for the daughter and grandchild's softball tournament down to Nashville from Indiana, and drunk driver ended up running right in the back of this couple and ended up killing both of them. Had he had that emergency braking, he potentially wouldn't have happened. So these are things that are saving people's lives.
Yeah. No,
in the long run.
And when I bought that Ranger Raptor from Allie, I left her dealership at like 1 a.m. or whatever we left that night, Allie. And I'm trying to get down to East Tennessee. And by the time I got to Toledo or near it, like I knew I was tired, and the safety features
lane keep was
and I did not like that feature till that night of going, okay, I get this now. It's for when you're tired. Like, when you're alert and awake, accidents don't generally happen, but it's when you're kind of distracted,
kind of off or aware.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not where you need to be. You're in a weird place. Yeah. You're not in your home state. Things happen. Like, and I was legit. Had flown down that day. Had bought the truck. I was super excited. Had filmed the video. I had done the stuff. I was worn out creatively. I was driving, trying to get some food. I was trying to eat. I was trying to make my plan together. How to sleep that night. I had lots of stuff going in my mind, and it legit saved my life. I mean, it saved my life in the truck.
What he's not saying is, I was texting Tim the whole time, going, "Hey man, I want to help you film this video. I want to do all this shit." And Tim's like, I don't like.
Tim's like, I'm driving. Shut up.
Leave me alone.
No, I mean, but that stuff happens. It's like, I'm always fascinated by this stuff where we feel like we're so easy to judge these days.
Yes. 100%.
So easy to judge people online. It's like,
TikTok is especially great for that, because I said I cut my 5 good 5 bad video of the Bronco Raptor, and I cut it into a short, And I was talking about the 3-liter and it being in the ST line up Ford that they use in there. And this dude's giving me shit about, you said ST line. Well, the ST line's got the 2.5 in it, Explorer, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, back the fuck off, man. Like, I said ST lineup. I didn't say the ST line, as in that's the only thing. Like, people are so nitpicky.
I've
It's
never
like, come to this fucking job. Like,
I've never wanted to meet like YouTube commenters in person. Like I've wanted to meet TikTok commenters in person.
Because you want to show them what real life is about.
I've wanted to meet them in person. Dark alley, pipe in my hand.
I was gonna say baseball bat.
Yeah,
You know.
I really have. I'm just mystified by this stuff. I'm like, is that really your viewpoint? Are you really like?
Yeah, I'm not on that side of TikTok, so.
I had a guy the other day. He said, "I just want to get keyed ignition back."
No way.
I'm like, are you serious?
My company vehicle right now has keyed ignition. You know how I despise that?
Do you not remember? You remember 70s and 80s vehicles when the keyed ignition tumblers would wear out?
Yeah.
You put the key in, pull the key out.
Yeah.
And then you want to steal the vehicle? You need a flat screwdriver.
Pop that out.
Well, and you had 2 keys for your car too.
Yeah, the one the door lock, the one
for the ignition.
Who was the dumbass? Like, I want to meet the dumbass on that one. It was like, you know what? We need 2 keys, Frank. If we don't have 2 keys,
and this young dude doubled down. This young dude doubled down. He goes, well, you know, with all these thieves who are spoofing the key fobs and stealing cars, and automakers doing nothing of it, we need keyed ignitions back.
Right.
I'm like, this is not gone in 60 seconds, bro. Yeah. This is not a Hollywood movie. That shit doesn't happen.
Oh.
Dude, my 22 GMC Canyon right now that I'm driving around in has a keyed ignition, the Elevation Edition. Nice truck. I really have grown to like this truck quite a bit.
The Ranger when we went and saw it had a keyed ignition on.
Yeah, the XLT Ranger has a key. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
This is dumb.
So the funny part was when I was doing a lot of freelance, I bought a mailbox, a keyed mailbox, because I was getting checks in the mail.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure I had a key for the check in the mail, right? The safety feature. Well, here's the problem. The key for the mailbox was the same key
Come here, Brooks.
for my 62 C10.
Huh?
So I'd go to check the mailbox key and have the wrong key to check the mailbox key for my truck. It was the same damn key. Same key size, same key everything. Yeah, I'm not going back to that name. I'm not going back to that. I'm not going. I'm not.
Not it.
I'm not doing it. And then GM. So I pointed out, I said, do you not remember GM's keyed ignition issue? They had a huge recall, they had huge issues, they had all these keyed ignition going on. Dude, I'm like, I'm not going back to that stuff. Not happening. Nope.
Well, it's funny when they first came out with push button, I remember it being a scary thing going, well, what if this button stops? What if this button stops working?
Yes.
Because there were some on Nissan Titans where there were some issues with the push button housing. Something in it. I don't remember what it was, but you might remember, Tim. But
yeah,
I remember
there was a lot of
we would be stranded somewhere. Like if we couldn't do that, but at least if we had a turn key, it would work. And it's crazy to me now that we're like, please don't give me an actual key. Like we need to do push button. And I've realized how snobby I've become with a push button versus having a key, because I have my purse that I keep my keys in, and I literally just get in the truck and push my button. But if it doesn't start, then I know my keys are not with me. Like it's crazy how that happens in my world now. But before I'd be like, oh, I got to get my keys out and make sure that I start the truck and whatever. So,
well, it's funny for me, like getting in some of the trucks at work, because we still have some Super Duties with turnkey. They're base, but like our chassis and stuff like that. Like I'll go to get in it to like push the button, and I'm like, I have the wrong key. I'm like, be right back. Like, hold on. Especially like, obviously, I haven't had to deal with it in a while, but like winter, like whenever we go to move the lot, we will literally get Ziploc bags and throw all the keys in it for each row, and you have one person go in every single car with the bag of keys to move every single car.
Well, and speaking of these guys pointing out that Ford Pass uses my phone, we talked about this at 4th of July with my uncles, and there was a conversation about one of my cousins bought a Tesla, and Tesla's got the credit card as a key, right? And it was like, all right, so what do you do with that? And my uncle was like, all right, so what if you fell down and you dropped your phone and you fell into the ditch and your phone like fell down the ditch past you and you couldn't get your phone, but your wife needed to grab you and take you to the doctor and you couldn't find your phone and need to get in your vehicle and drive you off. And I was like, well, what if the keys were in your pocket and did the same damn thing as your phone did?
Right.
Like, hello. And I'm like, also with the phone as a key, you could also just press a button and share your key with your wife, and you both have phones that have keys, and also you have a physical card as a backup for a key in your house.
Oh, I wish my keys would go away. Honest to God, like my phone, like, and I know your favorite person, Tesla, does this now, like that your key is on your phone.
Yeah.
And that's it's brilliant. Like I love that I can, with my phone right now, start the vehicle, warm it up, whatever I want to do.
I had a Rivian, and Rivian was like, please don't bother with our key card.
Yeah.
Please just download the app, sync your phone to our vehicle, and please leave the key card in your house.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, please don't bother with a key card. It's too finicky. Just don't bother with it. And I was like,
okay.
All right. And so, but then I used it a couple times and I was like, this is like a shit. I'm like, I walked up, hopped in, pressed button. I didn't even press button. I walked over, opened the door, hopped in, put it in gear, and drove. Like, it didn't do it. I didn't do anything. Like I was like, this is right. Oh, holy crap. This is nice. And then as Douglas says, you can share that with your wife. And then if somebody wants to borrow your Rivian or whatever, you want to borrow my vehicle? All right, hold on a minute. Ding. Press 2 buttons and you go share, and you're done.
Can you share it for a time period? Because I
think you can. I think you share it for time period. You can share it with somebody you want. Hey, you want to borrow my truck for tonight? All right, here. I give you for 4-hour, 5-hour access, whatever.
Because I think like valet and stuff like that too. Like you're dropping the car off at valet. How much power do you want to give to them to be able to take your car?
Yeah, I mean, TikToks on my car. And
you can do you could probably do a valet key. I'm sure. Rivian is like stupid smart. Those tech bros, the tech bros at Rivian got it figured out as far as that goes. The rest of the vehicle, not quite sure about, but they got the tech stuff figured out, right? Because they're tech. People always ask me, they're like, what's the difference between like Tesla and Rivian versus like Ford and GM? Here's the deal. They are a computer company building a vehicle. Mm-hmm. Ford and GM are a car company
trying to build a computer.
Well, you saw where Farley was talking about how the Chinese are just eating their ass right now because they are, like you just said, they're computer companies building cars, and they do it more efficiently. It's a different way of looking at how to do it.
It's just different.
That's how reverse engineering works anyway. You see a product and you try to figure out how it was made, and then you make it better.
The American car manufacturers, even Nissan and Toyota and them, they're into this. This is how you do it. We're not going to really innovate. Where these other companies don't. I don't care what you're doing. Because the way Tesla builds a car is not like how the big three build a car, and it's. Sorry, Tim, I know you're not Team Elon, but they reworked it and made it more efficient to do these things.
The car is crap. Like even Tesla guys will tell you, the Tesla fanboys will tell you the car is not very good. The paint finish is not great.
Well, there is
but the technology is good and the car buying process is good. They love not having a dealership. They love having a service at the keystroke.
Allie, close your ears. Close your ears, Allie.
But they like those aspects of it. The car is not always amazing. The car is very basic inside. It's not great, but they like the tech aspects of it and they like the buying process of it. But that's what they love about it. So they like those pieces of it. It's just a different mindset when you buy those vehicles and what you're buying them for.
I don't know. Like EV is pretty boring in general, anyways. Because like we drove the Nissan Aria, that thing was awful. That was not a good product. It was the build of it was fine. It just was an awful vehicle. Like, yeah, that was that the last?
I
EV
still
we-
didn't think it was as bad as he
No,
made
it was.
out
It
to
was
be, but
lifeless.
whatever.
No driving character. It was like
But
a golf cart.
But the point
Yeah.
of the vehicle is not to have much of a life, to be honest with you. It is to be a commuter vehicle, and it is to be used for a purpose. That's where sometimes you go, it doesn't have any guts. Not every vehicle out there is meant to have guts. Just think about it. Every car has a purpose for the task that it has. Like the Mustang is not a soccer mom car. It's
Sure
not
is.
going to take Sydney to softball in Nashville with all her gear and herself
I hope
and
not.
a
It's
day
in-
at the ball
That
field.
car's in Louisiana now.
My point is, the Bronco can do that for us. Other vehicles we've had can do that for us, but they're also not sports cars. So you've got to look at a vehicle and be
Then
like,
why-
what is the point of
Then
this vehicle?
why did 2 weeks ago Nissan decide to make a Nismo Armada, which I know has to get Tim all excited because that's them going, we need a fun, sporty people mover. No, people want exciting cars. Jesus, if you
Tim's done with you.
no,
I
the
can tell
Model
you right
3
now,
and Tesla
Nissan is
can do
done.
0 to 60 in 2-something seconds. There's a reason why they did that. Because if you made an EV just all 5-second cars, they all drive the same. There's no life to any of them. It would be awful.
But that's fine. But again, there are certain people out there that are looking for the Aria and what it provides. There are certain people out there that are looking for the Tesla that sits next door. We're not Tesla people. That doesn't mean
I
that
would
there
own
is not
Tesla.
doesn't mean there's not a market for people for that. So what I'm saying to you is you sit there and go, oh, this car was terrible. In theory, it was not terrible for what the point of the vehicle was. You're
No,
not taking it
you're-
off-roading. You're not taking.
You're not even looking at what the Aria is about. Like, sorry, marital nation here. The Aria is supposed to be an upper scale electric vehicle. So therefore, an upper scale vehicle, Tim can jump in on this. You want some like Cadillac's not building an upper scale vehicle going, man. I
And
hope
there's
it's
no
the most
changing his mind.
boring pile of shit ever. No, the Aria is a pile of shit car.
I'm not talking
His
about
opinion
that.
is
That's
it's
what Tim's
relish it.
comment.
My opinion is it wasn't as bad as he makes it out to be.
And if you look at sales numbers, which I'm sure Captain Sales Numbers over there is looking at them, they're not selling them either. So if
All
I understand
20,000
there's-
people that bought that vehicle so far love it.
how many?
Thank you.
20,000.
Okay, out of 3
Meanwhile, they
years.
sold 100,000 Nissan Rogues in the same pit, in just half the time period.
Right. And even Sentra's a people mover. That's all, like you're saying. That's what Sentra's purpose is, really. But if you don't feel anything in that car, now there's people, we've talked about it. There's people that get in a car, they need to get from point A to point B,
Yes.
and that's all they care about. But-
Bailing your ass out, Dave.
But those are rental people. Those are rental fleet cars. That an Aria. or
Remember,
something
the
like
wife
that.
is always right, especially in public.
Dude,
A
you gotta
Mach-
put that
a
Dave deal me in. That's a great comment.
No, but the
Put
Mach-E
that on.
is
That's
a
a
little
great
bit
one.
fun to drive.
He's not listening to you all.
I
No,
know.
no, come on, Kelly. The deal me in.
Put
Come
it
on.
screen.
No,
Put it on the
absolutely.
screen. Come on, put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Give me bailing your ass out, Dave. For the people especially in public.
but okay. So at Tim's point, 20,000 people bought it. I have talked to 2 of those 20,000 people, and
We're-
both of them have liked the Aria.
We're in a weird category. We're in Nissan territory where we only see Nissans around here. You know why? Shitty lease vehicles like Michigan has that they all get them for $100 a week.
Which is fine. But the
Ooh.
point is,
Do you feel
They
that
don't know
poke there, Allie?
you are not the
Did you
money.
just say $100 a week?
I don't know what they get. It's stupid cheap what they can lease them
It's
for.
not a week.
Whatever.
Cool.
But the point is,
$400 a month. Typical
Yeah.
lease payment.
No, they get them for like $200 a month or something. It's something stupid.
but my point is you take this and you go, I'm right, and only my opinion matters.
No, Tim's
about
matters.
this
Tim's
vehicle,
opinion might matter too.
And I think it's a piece of crap. So everybody has to think it's a piece of crap. My thought process is on it. I look at it from a diplomatic perspective and go, the point of the vehicle is to be an EV, to be a people
I gotta
mover.
agree with Kelly on this one.
No, but
I
okay,
mean-
look, you two have both drove the Mach-E.
Yeah.
It's not
Yes.
a lifeless vehicle. Yes, it's not. Is it a full Mustang? No. But it's not a lifeless, boring piece of shit vehicle.
But we've talked about this too historically. Not
But
everybody
it
cares
starts
that their
at
vehicle has a soul.
$50,000.
Do what,
what?
Allie?
I said, but it starts at $50,000. So it can't really be a lifeless vehicle. It has to have
Right.
some characteristics.
Well, in my point too is we've talked about this too. Not everybody is a car person like we are. They don't necessarily want a life-full vehicle.
You're killing Tim over there. Look, he's about to go to sleep, Kelly.
Like when so
How do we get on this
so
conversation?
for example, when Corbin bought his Sentra,
Yeah.
did he care that was a Sentra, or did he care that he was getting a newish vehicle?
You know what he cared about? That Nissan would finance him because that's what Nissan's known for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So there you go. And book closed.
I've got a 300 credit score. I need a vehicle. That's what he cared about.
No, Dave doesn't need to drink more.
Somebody's not getting lucky tonight.
Well, I'm at 50, Tim. We're past that. Anyways, no, I don't know how we got on there,
I don't either.
but Ari's a pile of shit, in my opinion. You love it, so we're about 50.
I didn't say I love it, but I think for the concept it is.
The AC
Let's
would
just be
not keep
clear.
up with a 50-degree day.
It was not 50 degree, it was 90 degrees.
No, I said it wouldn't keep up with a 50-degree day. Like, it's awful.
Anyway.
Is that something you've experienced, Tim, with AC and EVs where they don't keep up with the temperatures? Like, like a gas powered
or is it brand
compressor
dependent
would?
that you've experienced?
Honestly, I always get them when it's really freezing cold.
Mm.
I get
up
the
with
worst
heat?
luck. They give me EVs when it's like the dearest, darkest day of winter. Like it's the.
I don't have an issue with the Mach-E's when I hide in them during the day.
give out like risky.
You know why you can hide in them? Because nobody wants the damn things.
I had a hard time with the Aria because of the range in the wintertime. I remember that explicitly. I was trying to drive to the airport, and it was 200 some miles range, whatever it was, and I made it 90 miles and had to charge because I couldn't make it all the way another 100 miles.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's like Kelly said. It's a commuter vehicle. It's an A to B point car vehicle. It's not something people are going to aspire to.
But it's also 70 grand. So that's not a point A to point B.
Well, it's the Tesla alternative, right?
Mhm.
It's the vehicle that
I
people
can get a Model 3 for 45 though.
But I think
And it's a nicer vehicle.
I don't think it is. I tell you what,
I've got a point A point. We need a good cop, bad cop video. Me and you
no,
figure it out.
I understand. I've been in Teslas. Besides the Model S Roadster, I just don't think Teslas are over the moon. I think they
I'm
are
not
an
over- I don't
aspirational
think they're
vehicle.
Cadillacs.
They remind me of the Nike shoes, 1990s. Everybody had to have a Nike shoe, and I think they're the same deal.
Yeah.
And people want to be different. They want something that's a little bit different, and the Nissan Aria fills that bill.
Yeah, Fubar Medic says I love my 19 Titan. Would love a chance to buy a new one in a couple of years. Well,
We
Nissan.
loved our
Nissan-
19 as well.
Yeah, good luck.
No, I think what makes the Mach-E interesting is the Mach-E has really great character lines for styling. It's got the bigger screen inside.
Yeah.
It's interesting to drive. I think the Rally Edition I had recently was fun. It looked fun. My kids loved it. My kids loved
I
the way
like
it
the
sounded.
Rally.
Yeah, they loved the Rally Edition. My kids were like, "Wow, Dad, what's that?" I mean, it was a head turner for them.
It's so different and unique. It's just I really like the car. I know Tim really likes his too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tim, a Ford video guy,
Yeah.
had actually mentioned Dave. He needed to have you drive his Mach-E.
no, I'm
Rally Edition.
I really looked
Yeah.
at leasing a Mach-E because for daily use, if you could get one for a couple $100 a month, like that's a no. Me and you and Allie talked about this one
Yeah.
time about Sydney a first car.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like I'm
Yeah,
saying EV in general. The Aria would be the last vehicle I would choose in that category, in
Which
that
is
size
fine.
of vehicle.
I wish that Ford had not done the Mustang name on it.
Yes, just called it a Mach-E would have been great.
And I know
it's
why
so
they did it.
different for me, like working at a dealer, because like whenever we talk about Mach-E, it's never Mustang Mach-E. It's always
It's
just
Mach-E.
Mach-E.
Yeah.
So like whenever people say that, I think it's really funny because like even in our training stuff, like when we go to look for a car, so we have something that's like vehicle locate, it's not Mustang Mach-E. It's just Mach-E. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think
I'm
the
sure your
problem
new
with
hires are like, I got to put in Mustang first, right?
No.
New hires are like, I got to put, it's like, oh yeah, I got to put because it's if you guys is like Mustang, it's just Mach-E.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think when it first came out, I think that's the kind of like, no offense, Bronco Sport people, but kind of the same thing happened when Bronco Sport came out and people were like, that's the Bronco that we've all been waiting
Oh,
for.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
when the Mach-E came out and people were like, this is the new Mustang, you just killed it.
Well, it's
So-
$1 billion branding.
Yeah. So I mean I think that's the problem that people see by calling it a Mustang Mach-E from a model perspective, even though Allie, you don't look at it as a Mustang Mach-E, you look at it as a Mach-E, there's still that marketing out there that it's a Mustang.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of things people don't like, this come to me. This is something I predicted for a long time, and this comes to us from Tim Bars with Long MacArthur Ford. There, the Bronco Sport freewheeling is discontinued.
Oh darn.
Oh man.
God damn, this thing was
I'm
ugly.
so sad about
So
that. We ended
sad.
up removing the stripes off of like 6 of them.
Yeah,
Did you really?
Yeah.
just
Just to sell them.
Wow.
the wheels are awful. I could deal with the sunset on like a black.
See,
Blacked
like
out
I
Peggy that's
don't
75.
mind the full size.
The
Yeah.
full size
Freewheeling
freewheeling.
package.
But Tim, this has to really bum you out, man. I know you're a big Bronco Sport guy.
I just was thinking to myself, like, I don't think you're actually running a news story on this. I think we just completely skipped it.
Yeah, I did too. Like
don't
the
think we're
buyers,
actually
I just
doing
sort of skipped this one.
I think
But
we
no,
completely
like
skipped it.
this was a mistake from the get go. This was it was low hanging fruit to go. Let's just print some vinyl, new wheels, and we're done. Even the full size to me is just awful. Our dealer had like 5 of these sitting in there.
They couldn't get rid of them.
Yeah. Just ugly.
Douglas Blair.
What's that?
It looks like a Honda Element.
Whoa! Don't you insult the Honda Element, sir.
Yeah.
I loved him a
I
Honda
mean,
Element.
don't insult the Honda Element. At least the Honda Element looked better. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, but Tim, this can't be a surprise, right?
No, not at all. I gotta say this about Ford. Ford has some incredibly cool products that they have somehow figured out a way to incredibly screw up, whether it is the names or at the factory from building. Like it's incredible to me. Like the recent recall of all the new Ford Super Duties because they forgot to include the springs that allow the brakes to work.
You don't need brakes, man.
Like I'm just like Ford is a really cool company, and they make really bad mistakes, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I am amazed at their recalls that they constantly have for the silliest things.
Yeah, and Jim Farley is always like, we're gonna fix that stuff. And so I made Jill write the story how already in June of this year, Ford is #1 in recalls yet again. And it's like
The only thing I can say for them is they go so fast about getting new things out.
But they
Maybe-
really, I mean, it's like they did it. They shut down the factory for Super Duty. They delayed launches. They're trying everything they can to get quality back up. And I'm like, they make cool stuff. They make really cool vehicles, and they just cannot nail it. And the marketing is just off. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Ford should be a much bigger company because they are much better, much cooler products than say GM. GM does not have a Bronco competitor to save their life. They cannot pull it out of the hat at all.
No.
And Stellantis is like selling drugs on the side because they cannot figure the damn name out, right? And it's like how Ford does not own the OEM domestic marketplace is beyond me, but they cannot get their heads out of their asses to get stuff straightened out half the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for crying out loud.
All right, now you're just talking like a whole lot of common sense. You need to just slow down there, killer.
Simmer down, sir. Simmer down.
I'm just like, come on. Like, stop taking the shotgun to your foot.
Try
Jesus
working at a
Christ.
dealer explaining this to customers.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm just, and I'm sitting there going to myself, I read these stories, recalls and stuff. I'm just like, you're killing me.
Yeah, no, so I've been watching, we talked about earlier. I've been watching Wrangler versus
Hold on,
Bronco.
one second, I'll be right back. I gotta go
All right.
do my meds really quick.
But
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I've been
yeah,
watching this and how each of those brands could affect each other. Like Bronco pushed Wrangler to be better.
Yes.
Obviously, Bronco copied a lot of what Wrangler was good at. And then, you do have Chevrolet over there. You're like, what are you guys doing? Like, I grew up in a Chevy household, man. Like, my dad through and
Same.
through is a GM guy. He loves the brand, lives and die with that brand. But if I wanted to be an off-roader, my best option is the Colorado ZR2.
Mm-hmm.
That's my best option. And on paper, you're like, okay, it's $50-some thousand, but it's weak sauce in comparison to like it's a mid-sized truck, and a lot of off-roaders don't want mid-sized trucks. They want SUVs, and they could build on that platform and build something really incredible. Can you imagine a ZR2 Bison version of some Blazer?
Oh, yeah.
Blazer.
Because honestly, that truck did very well off road, but once you put it on the road, it was not great.
It was rattly.
It
You
was
talk
rattly,
about noisy,
it was
Tim.
squawky.
God.
Um,
Have you been in a Colorado lately?
I took one deer hunting last year. That son of a bitch was loud.
The good old 2.7 is a good little engine, but
I got
it
some-
sounds like a rattly diesel from the
I got
80s.
so mad at it because they screwed up. They didn't put any sound deadening over the hood, and the direct injection makes all the noise inside of it. It didn't deaden it at all, and the headlights didn't turn off for me. That thing pissed me off.
I know that they're gonna the next version of this or update's gonna have a damn light switch. It's got to have a light switch in it. They took
They
much
went
heat.
full light switches, all their EVs. They went the full light switch button on their Traverse and everything. They're doing the light switch. My problem with it is I couldn't get the damn lights to turn off.
Yeah, that had to be.
I saw, hello, dear, I'm right over here. Let me know.
right here. Come see me.
But you know that was a COVID deal. Like that was the last minute. Like shit, we can't get chips for these switches.
How do we make it work?
Yeah, we got to do.
No. You would no. There's no switch there. That's a manual switch turn dial. That can't be a semiconductor.
Oh, there's got to be some sort of. There's a chip to damn take a fart in one of these things now. So
I mean, that's not wrong.
But no, there's no way that's a semiconductor switch. That was just the choice they made. GM makes choices, and they go all in all their choices. They decided in like 2015, all their seats had to be cardboard. So all their seats or all their vehicles had to be cardboard to all their lineup. And then it's like, oh my God, it's like they drive me nuts. And then they decided their entire, and I hate to say this, but their entire PR team is a disaster right now, in my opinion. They decided to go full EV and to go full EV and to go full EVs and full influencers. And now their media site is like, you can't use the media site right now. You can't use the Ford media site.
Ford's is awful.
And you can't use any of the stuff. And it's like, and then you look at the EV sales, and EV sales are crap. And it's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, I just want to know how your trucks are doing. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll just wait it out for another 4 or 5 years. And eventually they'll come back around to me. Apparently I'm still be alive over here, and I'll be in the corner. And the guy,
there's fine photos out there, Tim. There's a new Silverado coming.
I just get mad about it. And maybe I'm just mad about that kind of stuff. Because like, I'd like the truck to be better. I want the better damn seats in Silverado. Because I got to tell you what, the diverse seats are better. The Acadia seats, but the Yukon and Tahoe seats are, oh my God, they're so much better. And I'm getting a Tahoe in a couple weeks. We're going towing with it. We're going camping with it. And I'm getting a diesel Tahoe with the better seats. And I cannot wait.
Nice.
It'll be great. Will the Honda ever update the Ridgeline? Oh my God, great question.
Gotta take a drink for that one.
Get off your ass and do something. Will Honda do something better than a HPD badging package on the Ridgeline?
Which is that's an awful acronym for their, like, Nismo makes sense. Nissan Motorsports, TRD Pro. I get that.
Better than turd.
No, but Honda, whatever, the HDP, it reminds me of Home Depot. I don't know why. It just reminds me of something about Home Depot. Like
Home Depot Performance?
Well, but it's like it's their knockoff tool. Like, I got the HPD.
Because it's HDX or something is their knockoff tool, isn't it?
Yeah. So let me think about this now. So what is the oldest mid-sized truck on the market now?
Well, it ain't Titan.
No,
mid-size. I mean, really, it probably is still Frontier. If you think, I mean, yeah, the body's new, but the underpinnings.
No, the Frontier got redone with the engine in 19. Was it 19?
Yeah, but the framing suspension is all the same.
It's the same.
Well, still doesn't matter. What new trend? The guy give him credit though.
Yeah, they updated it. Yeah,
it's new styling, truck. New interior, right?
Yep,
it's probably Ridgeline.
But I don't dislike the new Ridgeline. I think when they brought it more to mid-size truck.
Well, they finally gave us a volume button.
Yeah. I like the cooler in the back of it. Come on, man. These are important things, Tim.
Shocking.
I know.
I know we won't tell Allie what we said while she was gone.
I like how Allie had to change her shirt. That's funny.
I took my hoodie off.
The shit was getting deep.
I like
it's like freezing in my house, and I didn't realize how muggy it was after it stormed. I go outside and I'm like suffocating.
Yeah, Jeep Gladiator could be one of the older ones, but that's That's a whole nother, like, do they kill that thing off? Or what I think they're going to do is did you see where they did their Easter Safari builds, which was a half-hearted attempt this year at doing some builds, but they did that old truck version.
I saw that one.
I think that's where they take that truck or they kill it off. There
No.
is no. You had said a long time ago it was one and done.
Yeah, I was always told that. And have they done anything with it since? They have not.
Hey, got a new radio.
Do you know what's interesting with this? The Honda Ridgeline and the Jeep Gladiator are 1 and 2 every year for the most American-made truck.
Yeah, I believe
and the Jeep Gladiator just got the first time ever the JD Power Initial Quality Award.
You know they bought that, right?
And well, it's all bullshit. Nobody says JD Power's bought. JD Power's never bought. But it's also what's funny about it is the Jeep Gladiator announced sales 3 days or so after those two awards came out. Gladiator sales were like.
Thanks.
And in 2025, they killed the manual transmission.
Yeah. Well, the Gladiator's such a niche. I loved our Gladiator. I really did.
Tacoma is the only truck manual transmission, and everybody on TikTok was like, just give me manual transmission and manual windows and manual locks and a V8 and a.
Now when I read comments, I'm only gonna hear like Tim's voice in my head.
Right. And who are these people on TikTok, and how do they know what TikTok is if they know what a manual transmission is and manual windows?
Because you manually push it up to the next one.
You and who is going to buy that truck?
Right.
Like, because Ford, and Ellie knows this, Ford tried that for years. Ford was the last manufacturer in the F-150 with manual windows, manual locks. You know who bought that? Nobody.
I had a 97.
Published the MSRP of that lower price point, and they offered as a package for the power window package. You know who got the power window package? Everybody. Right?
Well,
and
more
dealers were like,
to do the manuals.
We don't order the ones. Even fleets don't even care about them. Fleets didn't even buy the manual windows, manual locks. So eventually Ford was like, well, fine, screw it, fine. It costs us more money in manufacturing to offer that package that nobody's buying. So they finally were like, fine, we're done with it, right? And people were like, well, Fleet's buying them. Fleets didn't buy them either. Nobody wanted them. And people were like, well, if Automaker just offered it, and they would have bought it. No, you did not buy them. You didn't buy them at all.
Well, that was the craze for diesel. I remember all through the 90s and 2000s of, if they just gave us a diesel option, and then everybody gave a diesel option except Nissan, and then nobody bought the diesels.
The Cummins.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a joke, right? It was like, was it Mitsubishi had the sports car, whatever, and they said, if everybody, and it was like, Mitsubishi just offered the sports car, we'd buy them, and that's everybody in the forums would say that. Like, everybody in the forums would buy that car, they still offer it.
Yeah.
And they killed it. Like, it's the same deal. Like, people always say this stuff in the comments. People always, and I guarantee you, after this video goes published, whatever, somebody in the comments is going to say, if they would just offer this XYZ truck, I would have bought it. And you know what? You wouldn't have. I'm sorry, you won't. Because if you would have, they would have built it. This is not a magical thing. This is not a magical business. It's a car business. Right. They will build what you buy. I know it's shocking. Ellie will sell what you will buy. But
I think what? GM would like you to buy what they want you to buy, though. There are exceptions to that rule of like them going hardcore at EV and stuff. They want to force you into something, and people are like, no, we're good.
Yeah, hey, then they stop building that. Then eventually they start offering what you want to buy. I mean, that's what happens. It's a car business. It's capitalism.
That's right. If guys, if you'll come over, like I know Tim's sharing this, but allterrainnation.com or All Terrain Nation here on YouTube, click the subscribe button for me. Like I don't know what the algorithm's doing here lately, but they have small creators like me. They're like screwing over for some reason. So numbers are down. So if you guys would smash the like button and hit subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And then if you would go over to Pickup Truck Plus SUV.
Man, if you could speak.
No, my throat's scratchy. But you go over there and check out Tim's latest blogs over there. Tim always has some good news and
articles.
News.
Yeah, but you said blogs.
Jesus blogs is so 2000s, bro.
I know.
100%.
Well, sorry.
What's on the homepage? What did I write lately? Like, go down, scroll down a little bit.
I don't know. What did Tim write lately?
I wrote the 3 A's Trump tax bill. Yeah, I am. Oh, Ram updated a GBWR and they didn't say anything about it. And Joe was like, "Is this news?" I'm like, "Yes, this is big news."
And they also have plastic upper control arms, which I learned from you, Tim.
Yeah, that freaking.
So, which I've now seen all over TikTok and everywhere. Everybody's picked up on that story and getting thousands of views off of your story on that,
Which is hilarious. People are like, so if you don't know this, Ram supplier, a supplier, South Korean tier 1 supplier, used plastic control arms with a steel reinforcement in the upper control arms. The story I read said they went away from steel reinforcements after a couple years went by. So people are saying that one pothole and that thing gets destroyed.
but
And
yet they've
Allie's
not
going,
realized
to
they've been running
Michigan.
them for
Allie's
years.
going, I live in Michigan, and Allie, I was just in Michigan, and I know Michigan potholes are just craters of
Size of cars.
moon. The moon doesn't have craters that deep as they do in Michigan potholes.
Hey, listen,
And,
the big three do the testing up and down 23 and 96 just to do quality.
Yes. So, and I'm thinking to myself, like I read these comments, I'm thinking, it's been 6 years.
Oh, did you want to say hi to everybody? No?
Oh, hey.
You said nope.
But I'm like, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
You think if it hit one pothole, it's been 6 years. For crying out loud. Like 6 years. Like
That's right. And guys, if you'll go over to our website, allterrainnation.com,
I haven't been over there yet. Look at
have
that.
a few articles over there. And
There. Look at that.
I'm still waiting for Kelly to write one.
I knew you were going to say that.
So
You're gonna call me out.
wait. I'm confused here. So are you have money names here, Dave? Are you Dave or David?
Well, professionally,
two
I'm probably more
Facebook.
Dave.
You prefer Dave?
You know, when I was a kid, I hated being called Dave. It was something redneck about it. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
And then, but everybody just kept calling me Dave. And then when I started playing music professionally, it was like turned into, that was my name professionally, was Dave. David sounded too not rock and roll. Dave sounded more rock and roll. So I just stuck with it.
So is it like hat backward Dave and hat forward is David?
Oh yeah. It's like that.
Unfortunately, there are no differences to his personality.
It's like that
from
Stallone
perspective.
movie, you know, with my hat like this, you know, when I go to
You
arm
don't know
wrestle.
who you're going to get either way.
Over the top, bro. Over the top.
It's not a name or a hat thing. It's just wherever it lands that day.
Mr. Davis, Douglas Blair says no.
Mr. Dave.
No, there's a lady on our my daughter's travel softball team that calls me Mr. Boyd all the time. Now she's being respectful
Yes.
because she's 30 something and I'm 50, but I'm like, I'm not Mr.
It's
Boyd.
it's actually her coach or our daughter's coach.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not Mr. Boyd, man. Come on, I'm not there yet.
Mr. Boyd.
Mr. Tim with a D.
Yes, Mr. Timothy. I do wonder that. I have another friend who's the same. I do get awkward. So like I don't go by Timothy because it's too many letters. But I also
Is that your proper name, Timothy?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So yeah, I've never really gone by that. But I do wonder that about people like that shorten like Dave, David, like Bob, Robert. Like it just I always wonder about that stuff.
I'm assuming Allie's short for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's being real quiet over there. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if this is what it's short for, and we're not gonna. You don't have to answer this, but Sid, our daughter has one of her best friends is named Allie, but her name is actually Alyssa, and so she goes by Allie. So
It's Alexandra.
Alexandra.
Alexandra?
Yeah.
So proper.
Oh.
It's like you're going to take over some country in Europe.
So did you decide not to go with Alex because it's a boy's name?
Oh no, my dad and my grandpa call me Alex all the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I ended up with Allie, to be honest. But yeah, my grandma had the initials for me ACDC growing up because my middle name's Catherine.
Yeah.
So don't know what the other C stands for, but
That's funny.
The other C stands for Michigan Bronco Club, which Allie, when does registration end?
Monday.
Monday.
As in tomorrow?
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you want to go to the dunes and
7/7/2025.
see potential, our daughter's birthday's tomorrow.
Yep.
She will be 15. And speaking of that,
Oh.
there's something out in the driveway, guys. We picked up our daughter a car. And,
Oh, boy.
yeah, which we have some videos coming on that. And I think Allie would be happy. We'll just leave it at
That 01 Nissan Sentra
that.
with the
I can
5-speed manual.
Damn
I
it,
can
Tim,
tell
you
you
gave
what
it away.
car I know that it's not.
It's not a Bronco, I can tell you that.
That's true.
No, not a Bronco Sport.
That
Yeah.
is true.
If I had the fun, if I was
Oh,
a wealthy
man.
man,
We
she
would have made that happen.
She would have had a Bronco Sports in there.
Just out of spite.
See, the thing is, like, for safety and gas, like, I don't hate them.
No.
No, we offered it out in Borrego Springs. Had a great time.
Bodega.
Bodega,
Mhm.
sorry. I didn't say Borrego. I don't know.
Maki.
Stupid monkeys. All right, guys. So whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel
drive.
it doesn't matter what you drive. Go over to
Caught me
Tim's website, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. If you're watching over there, if you're watching on Tim's side, come say hi to us on our channel.
Ellie Du Bois on all the socials.
That's right. And Kelly, what are we?
We're out.
Peace, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
Maybe.